Need some water. Kiss. Kisses. Echo. Thank you. She makes me work for it. Hello, beautiful soul. I invite you in here to sit on a beautiful mountain with me and Echo. Join me in for a conversation. I just watched the sunset and was pondering on what I wanted to talk about in this video, and it kind of made sense to me to speak more on the topic of authenticity, because that is really what my channel is about, and expressing it in all ways and seeing it from all sides and perspectives. And on my hike yesterday, I was really pondering the same thing. And I just kept thinking, like, from the day we're born, we're kind of sold this lie about who we are. And it's not like a salesman that comes up to you and actually tries to sell you or lie directly. It's more that the way that society and the structures that have existed in this day and age anyway have planted within us a sense of separation, and also, yeah, in a way it's like they're selling us an idea or version of who we should be. And it's interesting when I think about childhood, like, children are really the most authentic, right? They're just who they are. They don't pretend to be anything else. And they come out just like curious little observers ready to explore the environment and their world, because they haven't been fed any programming yet. They haven't imprinted or picked up patterns of behavior. They're a complete blank slate, which means that they're their truest self. Like, they haven't been given untruths. And the reason I say untruths is because they come in straight as source. And as they are sponges and they're soaking so much in, they become the things around them that they see, and they start to model, right? So they really start to become little mini-me's of their parent or their caretakers or their mentors or peers. And guess what? All those people have done the same thing. And so what are they actually representing or putting out into the world? Is it their truest self from when they were born? Yes, but also I would say that it's been dimmed and layered under, has been buried under layers, there we go, of programs and conditioning. So there's a whole bunch of these untruths as well. And in a way, as you develop, you're looking so externally, you start to build an awareness of an identity, an ego, as you being an individual, other, and then there's the other. So what is actually authentic? Is it you and the source that you came in with of love and curiosity and openness with non-judgment? Or is it the you that has learned to mirror what you're seeing in order to fit in order to be approved of and belong? And can it be both? Can your authentic self be both? I would love to know your thoughts, because I almost feel like the self that is just mirroring what it sees to fit in is not the true self. It's the ego self, the masked self, what we almost feel we have to do or unconsciously do. And yeah, like I could say, you know, here's Anna, she loves dogs, she loves to hike, and lists off all these characteristics that are true and authentic to me. Yet at the same time, can I shift my identity like that and tomorrow say, you know what, I've decided I don't like dogs anymore? Good, Echo didn't hear me. That would never happen. But like, it is within my power to change, to say, yeah, that's not my favorite color anymore. And you know, if you know kids, one day they might like something, the next day they might not. I mean, they're really trying on all kinds of things. And I do believe like it is in my nature to love hiking and to love nature. But at one point in my life, it was a work to get myself outside. It wasn't in my conditioning, okay? And as I explored outside of my conditioning, I fell more and more in love with the things that I was exploring based from my curiosity. And I will say that as a child, I grew up with nature a lot, and as some of my episodes on my channel explore, nature, we are reflections of nature. So in a sense, getting back to your nature is getting back to your most authentic self. Like I feel the most at home when I'm out here in the mountains and in nature, and I think she feels the same. So yeah, it's interesting as we grow up that we kind of, I would say, get further and further away from our true self. But it's still there. It's always there. It's not something you can get rid of. You can forget about. You can ignore. But it's still there. And in the last couple years for me, I have been on this journey of excavating and digging through and unlayering these untruths and these things I've picked up from conditioning and my environment that I'm now questioning and being like, is this really me? Do I want to keep this part or is it not? And some things, yeah, it's like this actually really suits me and who I want to be today, because we really have the power in every day, in every moment, to choose who we want to be, and if that is our most authentic expression. So it's been releasing the untruths and learning to express the truths that want to come through me, which means I have to be radically honest. And that's not always easy because, you know, for a long time, a big portion of my life, I believed an untruth that I was not really worthy of the things that I wanted to experience. I wasn't really worthy of even expressing my thoughts and opinions, my true feelings about things. And I would argue that I lived most of my life from the conditioned ego mask. That is why I love to explore authenticity so much on my channel, is because it has really been a journey of coming back home to myself and learning what authenticity actually is about and the real power that it holds. It is saying to the world and to yourself that I derive my worthiness from within, not from these external environments around me, not from the people in my life, even though we are human and relational beings and we need connection and all of that. But ultimately, we derive our love from inside and our connection to source, because that is our true self. And when we tap back in to that, and I would say, you know, our inner child, because that's another word for it, it's like remembering, oh, I love myself. What does that mean? That means I get to validate my expression in this moment, and I get to speak my truth, even if others are not going to approve of me, even if I'm going to get exiled from my community, even if even if I'm having a full on crisis, because it's going to mean everything in my life shifting and changing and becoming completely new and unknown. Yeah, when you start to live more to your true self, the things that weren't truly for you, and they shift out of your life, your vibration changes, your frequency shifts, and so it's making space for the things and the people and the places and experiences that actually are closer to your authentic code. So how important is it that we learn about who we are and that we get to know thyself? I think it's the most important work of our lives. Because when you're not functioning from a place of true, authentic connection with yourself, then what you're showing the world is actually an untruth. In a way, it's an illusion. I mean, it's a presentation. It's like you are presenting on stage, you're acting. And the really good actors make it seem like it's them, like it's their true self, it's their real character. But you know the difference. Because when you are living in authenticity, all of that falls away. It starts to be questioned, it starts to be examined, and you're like, actually, that isn't real and true in this moment. What I want to say is this, and I'm not going to hold back because of your feelings, or because, I might end up getting kicked out of the house, or whatever it is that has got you biting your tongue. And yeah. So ultimately, I want to share what I feel like I've been holding back, and I want to be radically honest in this moment. It has taken me a couple years now to be able to have this conversation, because it isn't always easy to speak the truth. You have to garner a lot of courage within yourself, and also learn to be honest and grounded in your love enough to know that you will be okay when all the chips fall where they may. So here I am saying that I'm coming out of the spiritual closet. And what do I mean by that? I mean that I'm ready to share my story. I'm ready to really talk about the experiences that have shaped me, specifically around spirituality, but it has bled into every area of my life, and why I am who I am today, and I want you to truly get to know me. So the next episode, I would like to share more on my spiritual background and upbringing, and how I was born into a cult, and why I label it a cult, how I left that cult, how I learned to recognize it was a cult, and what I've learned on my path coming back to God after feeling very jaded and abandoned by God. And the story will be shared over a few episodes, I'm sure. I'm not going to be able to share it all here, but the thing that has been holding me back the most is feeling like that if I share my truth, it's going to hurt the people I love, like my family, and my friends, and the people who might watch this, who might also not watch it, but who might watch it and are still living in this cult and will be triggered by it or not. And yeah, ultimately me just realizing that I can't hold back the things in my heart any longer. And perhaps there will be someone from my town or from a cult somewhere across the world, wherever you are tuning into this, that might actually resonate with the things I've gone through as well, and might benefit from what I've been holding in, and might feel seen and heard and related and less alone. And more than anything, my authentic self is screaming to share and won't be silenced, because ultimately I was silenced most of my life. So that is not new to me. Sharing and being real and being okay with however things play out in myself, being so good with my relationship to God that I can share it, and I am feeling brave enough to finally do so. So I am excited to be releasing an episode on that later. But for this video, I just wanted to share, like, it is time to be your true self. There is no other time but now. Isn't that right, Echo? Right now. No. I had my water in my backpack, and it's a glass bottle, and I can't even talk. I set it down on the rock a little too hard, and it cracked. And all my water's gone now, so we have to go home soon. We're thirsty. And the light's going down, so Echo, can you say goodbye? Can you say goodbye? You say thank you for tuning in with us for this radically raw conversation on the mountain tonight. And if you relate at all, or not even, I would love to hear your thoughts. I would love to connect in the comments section. You can always reach out to me. But yeah, it's always a pleasure to connect with you, and thank you for joining in to my portal. Until next time, beautiful souls, love and peace.